I want you to imagine a firehouse in like a super sleepy town that hasn't had a fire in a long time. At about 11 o'clock last night, that was this show with firefighters who weren't expecting a fire running in every direction, where Cortez is running off to WEEI to see if he can call. Taylor's running off to make a parade of Gasbags. Video, have you had time to put up on the screen, please, the exclusive footage we have of Boston fans leaving their arena early? They lost their 4 or 5 times all year. One of the most the most overwhelming offensive efficiency in the history of the league. For all the talk of Miami's perfect game and perfect shooting, holding Boston in the second half to 40 points, that offense, and making those people go home early when they have the highest of expectations for that basketball team. And we got yesterday what I think none of us was expecting, which is, that feeling from last year. That delightful feeling from last year where they can make it a series. And at the very least, what you get from last night is the glorious thing you didn't think you were going to get is the next 2 days, Boston fans have to sit in, wait a minute. Am I worried about this? And worse than that, Tatum has to look at Porzingis and be like, are you okay with us going through you during the playoffs when all of the mismatches are going to be you and you can have the turnaround jumpers if you want them, and maybe not all 7'3" guys can pass like Jokic can. And what they did by game plan to Boston yesterday requires them to play a perfect game. Perfect shooting, best they've ever had. I shouldn't say perfect because they turned the ball over a lot in the first half, but they were 13 for 24 on threes in the first half and were down by 3. I don't feel like anybody is going to talk about the defense in that second half and how it is you choke out. After Brown hits the three-pointers and does the heat check thing, and I'm going to keep shooting because I'm Jaylen Brown, and I'm going to go into the second half with, Miami, we're not afraid of you. You just had your best first half we've seen in the playoffs shooting, the best total game we've seen shooting from the Heat in the playoffs ever, probably, I would say. Like, it's not just making more threes. Everything that they were shooting from every guy who was shooting, except for Duncan Robinson, everything was going in. That's how you have to beat that team. I don't believe they could do that 4 times in 7 games, but you've put that doubt there for everybody. Now everybody is thinking something. I don't know if the Celtics are thinking it, but everyone is thinking something they were not thinking 4 quarters ago.
The thing that was crazy about those threes, Dan, is they created 23 wide open threes, according to the stat tracking data. So this wasn't just making threes that were contested and it being fluky. It was an offensive execution to be able to get everyone wide open. And that had to do with Bam setting screens on offense, creating more room for Tyler Hero to operate. It was a perfectly executed game from those two players who have been doubted by a lot of people on a lot of different shows, including this one.
Jeremy, you are not allowed to take a victory lap considering you are part of the parade of Gasbags today.
It's bull.
Oh, no. Let's hear it. It's hard to see how the Miami Heat are going to win a game in that series.
They're a joke right now. Everyone's laughing at them.
This team is not going to, more likely than not, even pull off one game against the Boston Celtics this year.
Tyler Hero, not good. Not a fan. Bye. Just bye.
It's not a code red, because if you take out Jayson Tatum, the Celtics are still sweeping the Heat. So slow down, Scalabrine.
Yeah, get my Ruiz up out of here. They down 0-1. They're about to go down 0-2 tonight, and your season going to be over in the next 4 days.
They need to dynamite the Heat.
Please, just the core. Toss it out.
Wow.
I'm done.
Again. He's been doing that for 2 years.
Wow.
Save a home
I'm done
game
talking about is Bam going to find the guts. I'm done talking about it.
I mean, the Miami Heat could go 100% from the field, 100% from the three, and they're still going to get swept in this series. They just don't have the personnel to match up with the Boston Celtics. That's it.
I talked to a person that's high-ranking in the NBA who would know stuff about player evaluation, who said he would take 13 centers over Bam.
Wake the hell up, Heat fans!
Okay,
You're so far gone from being a contender right now. You are an afterthought.
They do not want to face Boston in the first round and be their first victim. They will probably get swept. I'm going to say that right now if they face them in the first round.
Most people do not believe the Heat will win a single game.
Because this roster is simply not good enough, and it's not good enough by a mile. That set a tone. I think I'm the most right
You're insane.
in that group.
You
What,
are
we really-
insane.
Look,
Did you watch basketball last night?
I watched it, and I'm very happy Miami won. I don't like Boston. I like the Heat. No one,
Well, clearly
and
you
I
don't.
mean no one, sweeps the Miami Heat. It's not a thing that happens to this franchise. So I'm also a little disappointed because look at us. You know, we used to reserve these things for finals runs. Now you're like the 1-4-1.
Old man yelling at clouds is what you're doing.
We didn't get swept.
We didn't get swept. They left early. Like it's a little. If you ask me, a little sad.
It
but
is sad. I thought the same thing.
As part of our scramble this morning, unsuccessful part, I asked for them to find me a banner that read, "We didn't get swept."
That might have been the 1-4-1, but okay. All right. Cool.
I just don't see how you can watch that game and not be apologetic for the way that you've talked about Bam Adebayo and even Tyler Hero for that matter, who now in back-to-back huge games for the Heat, the one that would have eliminated them from the postseason entirely and the one that would have put their backs up against the wall, stepped up and had two of the best games of his entire career as a playmaker.
I'm not going in circles with you guys on Bam.
Because you're wrong.
He's a fine player, and if you want to regurgitate the spoon-fed bullshit from the Miami Heat that says he's a key to the defense.
Insane.
And
Did you
don't want
watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. I'm not saying he's not a good defender. They look, the Miami Heat have acknowledged that I am right every offseason when they've tried to acquire a star that is better than Jimmy Butler and have failed. All right? Bam Adebayo is the one piece that they haven't actually looked to relinquish. They keep wondering, why are our offers not good enough? It's because you haven't included Bam Adebayo. So if you have faith in this organization to push through and remain a contender, if you have faith in the coaching staff, I'd say I'd probably have a little faith in them potentially replacing Bam Adebayo if they had to. But I am super happy that they beat Boston. I'm super happy that the Boston Celtics fans have to wear that for 2 days. But also, this feels sad to me.
Today does not. I will not allow you to make today.
Unbelievable.
I will not allow you to make today sad because I don't disagree with you, and I don't think anyone disagrees with you. Before last night's game, there was exactly no one saying that the Miami Heat will win that series. Juju?
I'm sorry. If you guys listen to the Alley Oop podcast that be on every now and then whenever we feel like doing it, I called this the whole time. I bet last night that the Heat would win. I won $500 last night on the money line Heat win. If you listen to the Alley Oop wherever you are, if you saw these gas bags, I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm a realist. I said all year, what happens when the damn shots don't fall, tall
That's
man?
it.
What happens when the shots don't fall, Mr. Slick Hair Man? What happens when the shot don't fall, no left hand? So back to you, Dan. But some people are here prophets.
Juju, I have been watching what you've been doing post-game, and what I will continue to say as no insult to you, because, yes, there are many people who love Boston who have the post-traumatic stress disorder of still having some fear in them, although you've heard Simmons and Schur sound a lot more sure than they usually do about this Celtics team. I don't dispute that you have warned and doubted these Celtics about the Miami Heat can beat them in a game. But I've heard no one say that the Miami Heat will win that series. I've heard no one in a credible mainstream position go out on the limb and be alone with Boston will lose this series. I have felt that it is very strange to watch any series of any kind where the consensus is this complete so that in game 2 of a playoff series, you could be legitimately stunned when a home team loses. The Miami Heat are one of the best road teams in the sport. They were 24-17. It's as good as OKC, as good as Denver on the road. They are excellent on the road. They're not afraid of that team. They've kicked the ass of that uniform a great deal over the last couple of years. Let me give you some of the stats because this is from Cooper Moorhead, The Miami Heat have 4 playoff games in the past 2 seasons where they've shot 50% from 3. No other team has more than 1 against anybody.
He's bought and paid for.
That's
quite literally. He's an employee. What do you want me to do?
But that's also a fact.
It's just a statistic.
That's a fact, though. That's also a fact.
I'll do my own research.
Okay, very good.
Bought and paid for is better than buying to get information. That's all I'm saying.
Boston doesn't play close games.
Kiss my ass. Wow.
If you want to say that you can't break something down because you're a part of a broadcast or because you're part of an organization working for NBA.com, I just don't understand how that's the analysis that you
Jeremy,
can go
I'm just doing a thing. Let's move on.
I do not know this man well enough yet to say publicly that I love him, but I will tell you all that I love his work. Roy Wood Jr. has tours coming up in Portland, Los Angeles, Tampa, tour stops, Indiana, St. Louis, Chicago. If you want tickets, roywoodjr.com is where you go. It is nice to see you again, Roy. What brings you by? Because I know you love sports. Is it because it's such a giant day, the draft day? Is it what makes you sports intensive on today?
You know, Dan, we need to talk a little bit about the draft where teams lie to their fan bases and give them hope and make you hang all of your hopes and dreams and disappointments in life on the shoulders of a young man coming out of a lot of NIL money. And I know we want to believe that this draft is going to be the thing that is going to change the lives of your team. I'm here to tell you it's not, especially if the team changed uniforms. I'm here with stats. Since everybody wants to gamble and everybody wants to decide how to spend their money every season gambling on stuff, I'm going to give you one sure bet for this year for the NFL. It is my gift to you and your fans. This is the stuff I couldn't do on the Daily Show. This is why I left the Daily Show. I said, hey, can we do a sports gambling football draft segment? And they said no. And I said, go get Jon Stewart then.
You're going to give us a sure bet? You're going to give it. You're promising the people. You're daring to be bold enough to promise.
Let's not get in the lawsuit land. I didn't say promise. I said I will. You know, maybe we should work on the name. A semi-sure bet.
Okay.
I like that bet. All right. Semi-sure bet.
But you're doing it with data. You're not gasbagging. See, you like facts. You're somebody you don't. A lot of people have opinions, but you like your stuff backed by facts.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of teams. I'll move fast through this because we got a lot of data to break down, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. More often than not, I had a belief that NFL teams only change their uniforms when they've had a terrible season.
Oh, wow.
And it is a way to reinvigorate the fan base. It is a way to get people to buy merch again, the same way the Dolphins tricked me when they changed from that, the logo, the sperm whale. That's not a dolphin. Whatever that is on the helmet now, it's not a dolphin.
I don't
Love Tua. I'm happy the team's competitive. But bring back the dolphin with the helmet on. Why does this dolphin have no helmet on, Dan Le Batard? He's going to get a concussion.
You're so right about this. Put it back on. Put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Bring back the dolphin with the helmet on it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Mike says no. Wait a minute. What do you mean no?
Because it becomes helmet inception. The dolphin's wearing a helmet that the team doesn't actually wear. So you have a dolphin and a helmet on a dolphin helmet on a dolphin helmet. It's kind of like the Baltimore Orioles logo, where the Oriole wearing a hat is a logo, but the hat that the Oriole is wearing isn't the logo or hat that they wear.
This is fair. This is very fair. But my point is, I believe that teams psychologically have to figure out a way to reinvigorate the fan base. The draft is one part of it, but the league has also figured out now if we change the clothes, then maybe you'll think the team is different. But shout out to Matt and shout out to all the stat nerds that you have on your staff, Le Batard. Pulled up some stats for you over the last 20 years. Over the last 20 years, there have been 23 NFL franchises that have made some alteration to either their logo or the actual color scheme or uniform pattern, and also Commanders, because racism, we even threw that in. Okay. So out of those 23 teams, I want you to just give me a wild guess of how many teams had a winning season after changing their uniform.
Well, I'm assuming, since you're coming on with big data, I'm assuming that it's very, very high. But in order to help you, I'm going to say 2.
6.
I'm bad at the game.
23 uniform changes. 23 uniform changes. Only 6 teams saw a winning record the following season after the uniform change. It is chronic how terrible teams are after a uniform change. 2020, Chargers, Patriots, Washington Racisms, all 7-9 after the uniform change.
So it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Like, it jinxes it. Like, there's just something about wearing that old shirt, that old jersey, that old thing. You feel competitive in it. It takes a year to adjust. We hadn't even had time to do the adjustments for Major League Baseball and what the hell is going on with the little tykes, with the, you know,
we can all
we
see
don't have time.
We can all see their junk.
So, well, I hadn't been looking at that yet. But also, I'm a Cubs fan. It's cold, so it retracts. So you can't, you know, they don't drop till July in Wrigley. 2013 was another one. Dolphins with the sperm whale went 8-8 the next season. Jaguars with 2-14 changed the logo, went 4-12. Attaboy. You want to know what happened to your Vikings fans? 2013, 10-6. Changed the uniform next year, 5-10. Stop messing with the logo. Only winning teams, the only teams with winning records after changing their logo, 2018 Titans, 2017 the Rams and Lions both got winning records, Seahawks and Colts in 2012. That's it. Oh, and the Bengals. The Bengals went 4-11 in 21, and old Joe Burrow slid into town and took them 10-7 the following year.
That helps, right? We can change the logo, and if we make the quarterback Joe Burrow, that's helpful.
Yes, that's probably the only way. So 23 teams, only 6 had winning records, which brings me to this year's football jersey changes for the upcoming 2024 season.
Oh, wow. So you're saying bet the under here on victories based on your big data, right?
And now we're into the semi-sure bet from Roy Wood Jr.
Excellent.
Dan Le Batard.
Excellent.
Your semi-sure bet for 2024. Broncos, Jets, Texans, Lions, all bet them under 500.
The Texans and the Lions.
Texans. Wow.
I like CJ Stroud too. I know they just had a free agent big pickup. I know they got some stuff going on in the mix over there. Good for them. I'm just telling you what the last 20 years of data says, which is that 3/4 of the teams are going to eat it.
Houston and Detroit are good though, Roy. That seems that they seem like they'll test your theory.
Okay, yeah, they were good. So were the Patriots after 2020 when they were 12-4. Changed the logo, 7-9.
Well, but wait a minute. Something happened there other than just the logo change.
We're not going to talk about him retiring. That had nothing to do. This is all. This is a semi-sure bet, Dan Le Batard. You will not poke holes in this theory.
Okay, I'm sorry. It wasn't a hole I was trying to poke in it. The quarterback also seems to. It also seems to be kind of important. But you're saying that this is a marketing ploy in general. You feel like you've unmasked the NFL on this their big day. You can't fool us with your hopeful lies just by changing the colors or taking the helmet off a Dolphin.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm just saying the team's not going to be good. I own 3 sperm whale jerseys, so let's not get it twisted. I even bought a Jay Cutler. Look, I'm down bad as a Dolphins fan, bro.
They hurt you last year, didn't they? They hurt you. You had hope for last year.
Yeah, we had a backslide in December, but you're a Dolphins fan. You're used to something weird happening once the temperature drops below whatever the hell. So, I think we come back next year. I think we'll be fine. I have no idea what our needs are in the draft. I am curious to see if the Patriots trade down and go into like an official rebuild year and just let Mac Jones hold the fort down for a little bit.
Well, he's been traded to Jacksonville, so he's going to be holding the fort down over there probably.
I've been watching baseball. This is the first day that I've checked in
it's all
on
right.
football. There's I do think I was too busy watching Caitlin Clark. I didn't have time to keep up with your off-season moves.
Kick, save, and abuse.
It's fair. It's fair commentary. He's got shows coming up in Portland, Los Angeles, Tampa, Indiana, St. Louis, and Chicago. Get tickets at roywoodjr.com. Any thoughts on Reggie Bush getting back his Heisman?
Good, and put him back in the Heisman House commercial immediately. Give the man if I was Reggie, I'd take that Heisman trophy and go outside and spike it or pawn it immediately.
That would be good on social, huh? If he took it and I don't want it anymore and just broke it.
Yeah, but that's the ultimate disrespect. So, good for him. I'm glad that we're actually trying to retroact. It's like it's the the Reggie Bush Heisman fiasco is the closest we have in sports to like the retroactive marijuana laws where they let people out of jail now. And like, hey, man, sorry about that weed arrest. It's a different world out here now. Here's your trophy back, bro.
I think you've got a good idea, though, there on countering the disrespect that they did to him and his achievements by countering it by just destroying this trophy once he gets it back.
I think the NCAA knows the truth. None of this is going to matter in 10 years when we have a full-fledged college, minor league, NFL, G League, XFL system that's owned by The Rock.
RoyWoodJr.com is where you go. It's good seeing you again. Don't be a stranger. We want to see you soon, all right?
Broncos, Jets, Texans, Lions, all under 500. Lock it up for sure.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Boston Celtics, most fraudulent number 1 seed ever in the history of the New York Basketball Association, because that's what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? The New York Basketball Association with the Knicks. Okay? Now we can get into whatever you want to get into, Dan.
Thank you. Tony came in here the moment that he heard Tony was not here, and then he heard you were here. And
Hermanito mío?
He just wanted to be near you. Tony, what do you have for Mero?
I got a bunch of things. Usually we do. I'm going to let you do your show, Dan. Obviously.
Thank you, both of you, for allowing that.
Yeah, I'm just here. Ayudarte one, but we usually do it Dia a little bit more Cuban style. I'm doing this one Dominican style because the boy is in the building. So we can do that later.
Mike yesterday feuded with Paul Pierce publicly. How are you feeling in general, Mike, about all this Knicksdom that is making an appearance? Because New York has gotten very loud, and I want to say very fast, but they've been waiting 20 years for this.
Yeah, this has been percolating. This has been percolating, and I thought that the NBA didn't need New York. And then this season happened, and I was kind of feeling New York being involved because they finally have a team that I think is worthy of the chest pounding. And I think, man, get it out right now. They're killing it.
Yes.
Well, it's a good end in the second round, so you get it out now.
I knew it. I was like, yo, bro, you think the Pacers are gonna beat us, dog?
Yeah, that's true.
The Indiana Pacers.
I don't think this one's over yet. I think. Do you think this one's over?
It's cooked. It's cooked, bro. Listen, Giannis, I love you, bro. You know what I mean? You're one of the most humble, likable NBA guys. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a facade. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, I'm not here to slander nobody. You know what I mean? Except my ex-girlfriends. Okay? So he's a nice guy, and you want him to win. You know what I mean? I remember when they lost, and the reporter asked him, like, yo, was this season a failure? You know what I mean? And he was just like I would have jumped over the thing. Like the guy that jumped over, you know what I mean, and punched the judge, I would have did that. Like, bro, don't ask me that. We just lost, fam. We just lost in the playoffs. I'm the guy on this team. Everybody's looking at me like, yo, if you lose, it's on you. You know what I mean? I'm from Greece, bro. I don't know how to do American swag and be like, man, out of here. You know what I mean? Like, if that was Russell Westbrook, bro, totally different post-conference.
But he's not asking you about Milwaukee because you're just taking out the entire conference. He's saying, as I'm saying, I'd still fear that Philadelphia team.
Nah, man, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not an athlete. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know that. I'm not an athlete. But
you're looking more like one than you used to. You're looking lean right now.
Come on, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Tirazo.
Yeah, ya tú sabes lo que conmigo, papi. It's going to be a hot summer. You know what I'm saying? My wife is very jealous. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here on the Peloton doing mad push-ups in the morning. I'm working out with my son. Shout out to Mero Jr. I love you. You know what I mean? We out here getting diesel, bro.
You should have brought him. It's Bring Your Kid to Work Day.
I know. And he's like, yo, can I come? And I was like, bro, you got school. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you mean? I ain't gonna take you to Miami, dog. You got school. And then when you go to school on Monday, yo, where's your math homework? I couldn't do it. I was on the Dan Le Batard Show with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm surprised you're not scared of Embiid, though. I'm surprised.
No, I'm not. You know why? Because I watched that game, too. And I watched the Kurt Schilling bloody sock moment where he bust a stitch open, and he was doing all kind of wild stuff. When he threw the ball off the glass to himself and yammed it, I was like, wow, that's crazy. You're on perks. You know what I mean? That allegedly, because they got that man. Listen, you've been doing sports for a long time, Dan. You know that if you're the guy, they're going to make you play. You know what I'm saying? You thought Pat Mahomes got hurt in that Super Bowl and they were going to be like, all right, sit. We're going to start whoever the hell. I don't even know who's behind you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the guy. So we're going to whatever we got to give you to get you back out there, we're going to give you. And Embiid is out there wearing leggings with busted stitches, bro, off of Perk 30, allegedly. You know what I mean? And that's not sustainable, Dan. All it takes is for Mitch Rob to dunk on him one time and the whole construction of his knees is going to blah.
I thought he was legitimately done for the season in the coolest way I had ever seen in the history of sports. Throwing it off the backboard around Mitchell Robinson to dunk with his own pass to himself and then collapsing in a heap. I also did think, my God, how many needles has that guy taken?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
did you see his eye whenever he was on the ground? He got the baby doll eye, bro. One of that don't move at all. The left guy. I was like, Jesus, pray for him.
He just had one looking at the bench the whole time, at the medical staff, like, yo, y'all got another one? Y'all got some Toradol back there? He's getting NFL shit back there, bro. Like, it was serious.
When was the last time, and I will tell people again as I have before, that every Thursday he's got new episodes with Carmelo Anthony, 7 p.m.
Oh, man.
in Brooklyn.
This one's a banger. The last one is dropped today. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, it dropped today. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. It's live now, and it has the New York legend Stephon Marbury. And yes, we talk about Vaseline. You know
eating Vaseline.
We talk about all that. You know what I mean? So it's in there. Check it out. I promise you, bro. Because, like, yo, shout out to LeBron and JJ Redick. They got their new thing. And it's just like, hey, man, you know, when I said, hey, you know, I saw D-Wade coming off the pick. I said, you got to pick the picker and then the XO curl. You know, and he didn't curl when I did the XO. So then I had the O to X. And, you know, when you O to X, JJ, you know when you O to X, right? And JJ's like, yeah. Yeah. You got when you O to X, man, everything kind of goes. And then I'm just like, bro, what are they talking about? I played 21 in the projects. I don't know what is this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's that. You know what I mean? That's for those guys. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn is for you.
You got into the juicy stuff with Marbury. Everybody wants to hear from Marbury on the New York years, on
Larry Brown,
on playing overseas, being an icon over there, and seemingly having a public mental health crisis.
Yes. You know what I mean? And yes, we got into all of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, check it out. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Also, Victory Light. You know what I mean? We out here. You know what I mean? If you want to hear straight unhinged mania, me in a manic episode for an hour and a half straight with two wonderful co-hosts named Lisbel Ortiz and Rainio Valle, Victory Light is for you. You know what I mean?
Lehman and I listened to that on our road trip recently, and he proceeded to tell me all about, was it Bloombergito? What was the name of the Twitter account for Bloomberg?
Bloombito.
Thank you. Never knew about that piece of New York lore.
Bloombito, dog, where he was just like trying his best to speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Much like a New York Puerto Rican, tried his absolute best to try to speak some Spanish, bro.
Speaking of which, we had a debate here beforehand, and you are in the middle of age here where they're explaining to me, between me and them, that Pitbull changed the meaning of the word culo from when I was a young person. When culo was not the whole ass, it was the asshole when I was young.
Oh, yeah.
And so I wanted a verdict from you as what is the ruling here? Does Pitbull get to change that?
Listen, Miami is a very powerful metropolitan city. You know what I'm saying? And Pitbull is the governor of Miami. You know what I'm saying? He's Mr. Worldwide. So when you're Mr. Worldwide, you get to change some things. You know what I mean? So he influenced the culture, bro. He made culo not just booty hole, the entirety of the booty. You know what I'm saying? That's right.
Dan, I think what you were searching for earlier, and thankfully I'm in, is you're looking for ojo del culo, which is
el ojo del culo.
Like,
no, I'm saying that truth, the culo, that in my household, that's what the culo was. It was not the whole ass.
During the Great Depression, that's what it meant.
That's what it meant. That's true. Nah, Juju's right. But Dominicans, we call it like una chapa. Diablo, que chapa, mami, coño. Diablo, que chapón. You know what I mean? Like that. Like you got to get ASMR with it. Like, Diablo, mami, que chapón.
All right, now you're creeping. That's a little bit.
Culazo. Culazo.
Diablo, que culazo. Could you blah, blah, blah? Could you blah, blah, blah? Let me stop, bro, because I'm going to start
Put some Dembo. We should put some Dembo on right now.
Drop a whole Dembo track in here while I'm here, man. Stop.
Where does the last game rank for you in terms of sports emotions the last, I don't know how many years, to win that way late with a team that you're falling in love with because New York likes to think that team is representing the things that New York is. Yes. You did it with a very different team in the 90s, much different than this one, but this team New York has fallen in love with because of how they play.
How they play, how they get together, how they vibe with each other. It's, kind of similar to the Yankees right now. Like, Juan Soto's making Aaron Judge look like not a cyborg. You know what I mean? Which is a tall task. You know what I'm saying? Because he is swaggerless. I love you, Judge, but he's kind of swaggerless. You know what I'm saying? But Juan stepped in and did his thing. But with the Knicks, it's the same thing. The energy is different. You know what I mean? It's not like, maybe. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it used to be like, yo, nah. Like Mike was saying, it's the second round. And that was like the real thinking. Like, yo, if we make it to the second round. Now it's like, bro, all of y'all. You know what I mean? The Bucks, you know what I mean? The Heat, y'all bring it. You know what I'm saying? I'm Scarface at the end of the movie. Like, God, you want to work for? You want with me? I'm like Peoples, bro, in the Shaft remake, bro. You mess with my brother, you mess good for me.
It's literal with Jalen Brunson. You can say hello to my little friend. Yeah, my little friend.
Yeah, and then the Indiana Pacers come in the back door with that thing on. It's right about the playoffs.
Come on, dog. No, don't do that.
The best part, though, is seeing, like, Melo in his, like, knit yellow fit, like, right on the court side with all the old Knicks. It's amazing.
Smetty, I love you. That's exactly where I was going with this. That is what gave me even more. And listen, there was a resentment built because – that game coincided with Passover, you know what I'm saying? And my wife is of the Judaism persuasion, you know what I'm saying? So we had to go do a Seder instead of me sitting in between Melo and John Starks, drunk off Cuervo, jumping up and down, you know what I mean, enjoying myself. But hey, I love my family and I love my kids.
Man, that's
all of y'all.
That is resentment right there.
Nah, it's not at all, man. It's cool. Shout out to my man T. Yo, T, what up, baby? You know what I'm saying?
You missed out on something tremendous in the name of faith.
Yeah, not even my faith like that. It was just, it was like, just not camaraderie, man. Solidarity. Solidarity. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people skip their Seders to go to that game, including my boyfriend.
Yeah, shout out to Lee, man. Goddamn, I should have did what you did, bro. But then your kids wouldn't have been looking at you like, where's Daddy? You know what I'm saying?
Did you see through everything that was happening through the religious ceremonies because of where you wanted to be?
Dog, I was just like, man, Dayenu, man, get over this shit over with, bro. Bring the brisket out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this over with. But what energized me was seeing Melo, John, all those guys jumping up and down, going Spreewell, who looks like the most dominant center in the WNBA, like just going crazy, jumping up and down, like yeah, hugging each other, slapping each other on the back, bro. It was beautiful, man. It was like generations of New York basketball coming together to celebrate this renaissance. You know what I mean?
And you missed it.
And I was eating brisket with a collar shirt on the whole time. The mics are hot?
Now they are. All right, Dan, count us back in.
They've been hot.
Yeah.
As soon as you got here, isn't that the way that works with you? You get in and mics get hot.
Just keep them hot all the time.
You didn't answer my question, though. If I made you sort of rank it on how it is that you felt about you're down 5 with 28 seconds left. Yeah. You believe in this team. I believe this team is going to break your heart because I fear that the Celtics are better than everyone in the conference. But what you saw last night reinforces the notion that 100%. Porzingis might not be trusted in that spot.
No,
the durability of a hymen is what my brother said.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Juju for calling me. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Since Stu's not here, Juju's getting all the thank yous today.
But last night wasn't a durability problem. It's that he was in the post with guys that were 9 inches shorter than him, and he wasn't passing out of it to create the threes or even making the turnaround jumpers that they needed him to make.
You know what I'm saying? Durability is a compound word. Part of that word is ability. You know what I'm saying? So his durability and his ability.
He put the durability.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's out there catching the ball in the post, looking like Jesus on the cross, and you know what I mean? You got a 5'6" guy on you, and you're not making nothing happen. So what are you doing? Chris Stapps, you know what I mean? So, yeah, hey, you know, maybe Phil Jackson was wrong, okay? I delight in saying that. Phil Jackson, you were wrong, okay? If you're still alive. I don't know if you are. I'm sorry.
Whoa, that'd be a $50 fine if you just killed Phil Jackson.
He's still with us.
He was asking
He's still with us. All right, cool. I just had to Google it. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Shout out to
Who is the most hated figure in Knicks history, according to you? Like in terms of because Phil Jackson would be pretty high on the list. Falling asleep on the subway, trying to do the Pat Riley thing, lazy.
Yeah, it's so lame, God. But honestly, it's funny. I had this conversation last night, like poolside over many blunts. It's Mike, man. It's Michael Jordan, dog. Like, if you're a real Knicks fan and you grew up and you were young, because I was young in the 90s. Like, I was like, junior high, elementary school. So Mike broke my heart every year. So he is like the ultimate villain because unlike Reggie Miller, unlike Alonzo Mourning, all those other guys, we could beat them. It's like, yo, you're beating these guys. You have a chance. With Mike, it was like, man, now it's Thanos now.
But I was talking to you about like in-house, somebody who did damage to your organization from inside the house.
From inside the house?
Yeah, because Phil Jackson, when you mentioned Phil Jackson, I was thinking about where Knicks fans will get rabid on you fouled all this up.
Phil Jackson, bro. It was Pat. It was like a bunch of guys. It was a bunch of different front office people, like just doing dumb stuff. But it is undoubtedly Phil Jackson. You know why? Frank Ntilikina, dog. You wasted a lottery pick on Frank Ntilikina, my guy. You know what I'm saying? You did that. And for that, I will never forgive you. That is a forever wound in my spleen, dog. I don't even say heart. Like my liver, you know what I'm saying? Another vital organ. Like he deflated one of my lungs with that pick.
Do you guys have a refrán del día? You said you have one here for
Como no.
Oh, and you're going not Cuban this time. You're
Vamos
trying...
dominicano.
Vamos
Pal pana mío.
Pal patio. Vamos pal patio. Hey!
Wow.
Hey! Súbela,
mi gente! Aquí estamos con el tirazo, con el pana.
Estamos aquí, Activini.
Mira, look.
Con Danielito, Tommy Tigre.
This is what we're going to do.
Con Christopher, con Juju, con Miguel,
Dile, ¿quién más?
con Tony, con Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Todo el mundazo está aquí, coño.
Listo. So instead of doing a Cubified thing as we usually do, my Dominican brothers here, we're going to do it Dominican style. So I'm not even going to give him one. I'm going to give him a bunch, rapid fire, and he's going to explain to the crew and explain to the world what these things mean or what he likes out of these things. So we'll start here. ¿Qué lo que?
Oh, ¿qué lo que, bro? Oh, I love it. ¿Qué lo que works. Also, if you look Dominican, but you're not, you could get away with anything. If you just be like, ¿qué lo que? You walk into a party, you don't know nobody. ¿Qué lo que? Hey, ¿qué lo que? Hey. Way, and you just throw a way after it. Way, ¿qué lo que? Or a smile and a point, like you know what I mean? Like Will Smith in the Miami video where he's like, hey, dímelo, long, hey, ¿qué lo que? Clinton.
You can connect with anyone from there, right?
Second one. This one you have to explain because there's levels to it. I call it niveles de vaina.
Sí.
Explain what vaina is and how you can use it in certain ways.
Vaina is literally an all-purpose word, bro. You know how when you coming up, I don't know about the Florida education system, but New York, my teachers used to be like, yo, don't use the word nice. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a dumbass word. Like it means nothing. It means everything and nothing all at once. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is vaina. You know what I'm saying? But in a good way, not in a bad way.
Like dame esa vaina.
Dame esa vaina. ¿Cuál es tu vaina, Daniel?
Isn't coño in Cuban sort of an all-purpose word? The same sort of all-purpose, like you can use it 17 different ways, and you can't explain to anybody what all of them mean.
Vaina, in the simplest terms, is that thing. Pásame esa vaina. Give me that thing over there. Pásame esa vaina. Febrici. El que está allá. Efebrece. Pásame efebrece. You know what I'm saying? Esa vaina. Toda la vaina.
Who is someone that can fool you with a que lo que that's not Dominican but can pass? I'm setting the bar at Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan, definitely. Tracy Morgan looks like all my uncles. That's why I love him. You know what I'm saying? That's my tío. Also, I was talking about this yesterday. Daniel Sanjata. Y'all know? I know it's like he doesn't have name. He don't got name recognition. But if you Google him, if you bring up a picture of Daniel Sanjata, he could be anything. Dog.
¿Qué lo que? Un tigre.
Un tigre. He could be Dominican. He could be He could be Middle Eastern. He could be Sicilian. you see what I'm talking about?
I just Googled him. I can't believe it. You're totally right.
Boom. Look at this. What are you? ¿Qué lo que? Yo.
Oh, he was on Power. I know his ass.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Rescue Me.
Yeah, Rescue Me.
Show.
Yes. You know what I mean?
I'm going to bring somebody in from the outside that I think can fool you if they say que lo que.
Yeah.
As we do that,
Reggie Jackson.
explain to people La 42.
La 42. Oh, baby. La
42.
42
for the real ones.
La 42. If y'all, it's The Wire is a classic show, right? So I'm assuming I'm going to go off the assumption that y'all are all familiar with the show The Wire. La 42 is a healthy version of Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? It's just turned up all the time.
¿Qué lo que?
Calle 8. De lo mío personal. No, that's
4K.
Taylor.
Hold on. Stay right there, Taylor. Talk Knicks basketball with Mero since you're the secret Knicks fan that we have here. But do it in Dominican.
Papi, ¿qué tú crees? Dime. Dame luz.
Put him in a bad spot.
You got this, Taylor.
Impossible spot.
Just do it. Yo, use the trick, bro, that I taught you. I just taught you the trick 20 seconds ago.
Que lo que? He's a slow learner.
He's
a
terrified.
Fan. He's a Knicks fan who's
Loco,
scared.
¿Cómo tú te sientes de los Knicks ahora mismo en este momento?
How do you?
Yeah. See?
Excellent work,
You know
Taylor.
what I'm saying?
I appreciate all your help.
Dominican, Taylor could be Dominican because you don't even got to talk if you're Dominican, really. You just talk with your hands. Be like, how you feel about the Knicks? Eso lo que está. Eso lo que está. Una vaina bien. Ratata.
That's where you can use vaina. Una vaina tremenda vaina.
Una vaina bien, loco. Una vaina increíble.
Tell them about los tres golpes.
Oh, los tres golpes. Yo, los tres golpes is wild because this is how you know. This is why Dominicans are the best baseball players because you're working against yourself when you have tres golpes for breakfast. You know what I mean? Because people don't know. For that, those of y'all that don't know, you know what I'm saying? Tres golpes is a traditional Dominican breakfast that consists of mango, which is mashed plátanos, aka plantains. If you're born here, plantains. Mashed plátanos, green, not sweet, with salami frito, like fried salami, queso frito, fried cheese, and fried eggs. You know what I'm saying? So
listo.
You eat that, bro, and that sticks to your ribs.
Well, literally translated, that's 3 hits, right?
Hits,
so
like
those
bang, bang,
so you're
bang.
doing 3 terrible fried things to your organs
for breakfast.
Just coming out of the gate aggressively Dominican.
Aggressively Dominican at 6:45 in the morning, right before you hop in your Lincoln Town car and get to work.
What,
you know what I'm saying?
What brings you to Miami? I did not know you were coming. You announced it. Not that you need excuses to come to Miami. You have been absorbing this city for a long time.
I feel like I'm part of Heat culture now. You know what I'm saying? It feels blasphemous to say. You know what I mean? But Heat meaning like because I'm hot. You know what I mean? I'm popping. Manjaro Mero in the building. Look at the traps.
You're not answering my question. You're flexing. You're not saying why.
All he's got to do is flex. Tremenda vaina, mira eso.
Una vaina bien, loco. I'm here. Vine a flexiar. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here I'm doing a series with MLB and Corona called La Vida Más Fina, where I speak to and highlight Latino ball players, from around the league.
The fine life.
The fine life. You know what I'm saying? Last episode was with Nick Castellanos, cubano.
Lo vi. Estaba tremendo, papi.
You know what I'm saying?
Está buenísimo.
Muchas gracias. Te lo agradezco. Shout out por el apoyo. You know what I'm saying? And today, when I leave here, I will be kicking it with Luis Arraez. And from the Marlins, local Miami legend, Luis Arraez, you know what I mean? And we're going to play the show and eat arepas, you know what I mean?
Tengo unas cuantas más, Dan. I don't know if I can interject here for very quick.
You can, but Refrán del Día was supposed to be one phrase. And
no, it's too big. He's in person. It's too big. We can't contain it to one phrase. This is going to be a either or, okay? El Alfa o Rochi?
Dime. Yo, you put me in a
Dime.
Oh man, this is like.
Can you explain to the people Dembow? First off, those are 2 Dembow artists from Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Can you explain who they are, why they mean so much to the country?
So El Alfa is a dembow artist. If you don't know what dembow is like Dominican street party music. You know what I mean? It has roots in like reggaeton and dancehall and all that kind of stuff.
Can I play a little something?
Yes,
am I gonna
please,
get, okay,
please play. Listen, if you're gonna play something.
Yo le iba a grabar, pero en baja calidad. Y ella me dijo que no está. Es una maldita loca, una ratatá. Ella lo que quiere es que la ponga en 4K,
4K. Come on, man.
That's pretty good. That'll get you moving.
There you go. That's El Alfa, Dan.
Yo, by the way, I did MLB All-Star, and I had Bryan Cranston dancing to Dembow. Yo, like, that's real video. Bryan Cranston with a long ass white beard hitting the could you block at home plate. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bryan.
I love that song that translates to just put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out.
4K though. That's the most important part. Brugal or Barcelo?
Brugal, papi, con la mallita, tú sabes que cuando no hay cuarto, uno bebe un puchín de lavagallo. You know what I'm saying? Like
most people don't know what you're saying.
Brugal or Barcelo, rum. 2 different rums.
Yeah. And what they call lavagallo is, you know, in various Caribbean, Latin nations, they partake in cockfighting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like, you know, like Dawn Staley versus Iowa. I'm talking about like two.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that was a dad joke. I'm sorry.
7 p.m. in Brooklyn is the show with Carmelo Anthony. It is every Thursday. Stephon Marbury is this week.
That's right.
That has to be great. Always good seeing you. Thrilled for your success.
My guy. Let's go.
Gracias, señor.
Gracias a ti, papi.